Hello, everybody. My name's Casey O'Brien. This is me. What's up? So, this is the last thing that I want to do. I swear to God. I've I've been scrolling on these different pages. I've been looking at different ways to ask for money, or help, or just advice, and I'm reading all this stuff. And to me, it seems fake. Like I don't understand how I'm seeing copy and pasted the same. Oh, I just left an abusive relationship, and people are throwing hundreds of dollars at these probably fat white men in a basement somewhere. I won't lie to you. Um, like I've seen copy and pasted across, and then I I see people with horrible situations that are men that get nothing. My situation is that I was, um, this is true. I was traveling, door dashing. I had already suffered a lot. I'm talking like brain injury, child died in a car accident, went in the music industry, drugged me in the music industry. Family is all narcissists. They're all very lost, very, very mentally unwell people. I kind of watched my hometown lose their minds. Like the world is a really crazy place right now. And I chose to, whether because I had to or because I wanted to, I ended up in a city, homeless. My car was stolen, and I was forced to be outside for a couple winters. The first winter in an abandoned car, the second winter on the ground outside trying to get in shelters, but they're full. The third winter, um, this winter, my car broke down because I'm saving money. I'm I started performing songs when I worked in the music industry at parties and rallied people together to crowdfund in the past. I'm not talking about online. I'm talking about like I go perform at parties and I'm like it's like college town with wealthy white kids. So I'd ask like, yo, if you guys can ask your parents, help me out, get me a car. If you guys know anybody that's got an extra car lying around, because these guys are driving $100,000 Broncos, and they're 18, 17, 16-year-old kids, and they're partying at the park that I'm living outside, making music. So I just said fuck it, and I performed. Got a car. I'm talking like blisters on my feet. Um, couldn't move. Had to go to the hospital to put ointment on it because I would be walking and walking and walking for months because I had a brain injury. And I still have a brain injury. It's just so much has happened in my life that I kind of gave up thinking. Like I know I could present myself a lot better, but um, I rarely find people that have been through worse than I have. And you're just gonna have to trust that I'm telling the truth, that I am competent enough by my speech that you can judge my character and see that I'm not bullshitting you. But I was traveling, trying to get home to my family actually from where I was, and halfway through my car broke down here. I didn't have enough money to get it looked at. It was the middle of winter. I'm on top of a mountain. I stayed at a laundromat, in like a 24-hour laundromat. Some guy came in to tell me he runs the place and he's like a big time dealer. He's like mid 20s. I'm 24. He's older than me, like 27, 28 maybe. And this guy's probably never left the small town. And if he is a dealer, he didn't have a gun. He had a Timu flashlight. So I had a hatchet in my backpack and he swung at me. I picked him up and threw him on the ground and I hacked his ribs with a hatchet and chased him out, screaming. He went to the hospital. He lived, but the town knows him. This is a small town. They all do drugs. It's all pretty much all you can do here. So it's a town full of junkies and drug addicts and alcoholics. And I killed their local guy, someone they grew up with. He lived, like they patched his lung up, but I pierced his lung with a hatchet. I got it in between his ribs. But he wasn't gonna stop. So in the middle of winter with nothing and nobody definitely made me regress. Um, police were prejudiced, talking down to me, basically like social, spiritually or energetically, whatever. Like just the vibe is that they want to overpower you and make you feel molested. Whether that's your opinion or not, that's what they do, and that's definitely what it feels like to people that are unhoused and have been disintegrated or degraded to an animal. Maybe it's white America. I don't know. It's definitely it's called this. If you look up the Stanford Prison Experiment, there are obvious cases of men that have abused their power and have deluded themselves and are taking it out, and they're run by their prejudice because of their ego, for whatever reason. So I'm like trying to reason with a whole town full of drug addicts and white Americans trapped in delusion that I just need help, and I'm asking for help. I'm going to places. I'm trying to talk to people, but it's the winter and seasonal depression has hit. Whether or not it's a spiritual revolution or whatever's going on with people, it was like everywhere I went, people were screaming at me. People were over the top, like pointing at me and telling me, get out this way. And I'm just normal, humble. That's true. The one church that let me in made me submit like a dog. And then she said, sign your life away. And I signed the paper. And then she yanked it out and laughed and then went, it's, the world is crazy. I don't know how else to put it. I ended up at a park and ride. They towed me because it was getting too bad. Everybody was complaining. There were like old 60-year-old veterans that were stomping around my car in the middle of winter coughing. They were like trying to get people together to gang up on me. The kid in the broken down car living in an igloo at nighttime freezing to death, and they were like so angry because I have long hair and I wore a chain. And I have a tattoo on my neck. So they were, who knows what they came up with, but they were trying to get me. So eventually, somebody called the police, and the police towed me, and they had some type of like community reform center that wasn't going to help me. Eventually, they helped me. I was talking just like this, swear to God, maybe more straightforward. Like the vibe was probably more off because I had less social interaction being in the igloo. Now I've been able to go around. But I swear to God, I was at a park and ride where people were overdosing for months. This isn't my first rodeo. Like, I've been traveling, and I was homeless in a more populated city before when my stuff going on was worse. But I was still fighting, and I helped a lot of people, and I worked with community action programs, and I was a role model to kids that were running away from home, and I was a safe place. I built a compound at a public park to save the good people from the bad people because the police aren't around. Like, I still did the most of what I could do, and I performed songs, and I made art, and I impressed people, and I worked every day. I wrote TV shows and have them on my phone. I have full albums that I'm just waiting for the money to do, and I swear to God, it's been since I got here in the winter time. It's now it's closer to the next winter than it was the first winter. I've been trying every day to apply to jobs, and they won't get back to me. And they usually laugh about it with their friends. They're trying to teach me a lesson, like they don't think I already know. I come in, I've tried every approach, like humble, trying to adopt their culture, trying to play a character, telling the truth, sitting out and meditating and trying to come in with a good vibe, trying to talk to God and connect to God and have God do the work for me. And I did get a shooting star when I asked. I'm like, I'm on the right path, give me a shooting star. And then I got one. So I started a YouTube channel talking about it because there were heroin addicts screaming at me. There were this guy that I fought, his friends were throwing coffees at me. Somebody did press a gun to the side of the car while I was asleep there. I woke up and then they left. But I had people like jail when they try to make you their bitch. Because when you're this far out of society, that's all you're seeing is like crackheads that have been to jail. So I had people coming up trying to make me their bitch. And I had a hatchet and that was it. And I'm hiding in the car, expecting death at any moment. I have nobody to talk to. I'm on Facebook groups begging. Nobody will do this. I made a post for my hometown and I got a bunch of laugh emojis because I was in the music industry before. So people are very happy to see me fall. Eventually, I escaped into the woods and I found an abandoned cabin and I raked leaves and I stayed in the cabin. I might have Lyme's disease now. I've been picking off ticks like this. I feel very weak. It's like stuck in a disassociative state. I've talked to therapists online. I did just go to jail because I got trespassed from a place for being a wigger. I swear to God, this is white America. I went in. I don't think I was acting black. I think I was just, struggling. I went and got a tap water from a Subway. Manager came in and said, "Would you like to pay for that?" I said, "It's water." And then she whipped the trash bag like that at me. I was like, "Would you like to pay for anything? Can you name one thing you'd like to pay for?" And she was like, "No." So I left. She called the police and said I tried to kill her. So the police showed up. And at first they tried to throw me down, pepper spray me, do the whole thing, but I said, "I don't consent. If you try to do anything, I'm going to call your sergeant. You don't know who I am. You don't have any reasonable, articulable suspicion of anything." They tried it anyway. I called their sergeant. They didn't get in trouble, but they got like a talking to. So now the police were going around my car in the winter, swerving at me and like honking their horn, like angry. Because I don't know. I don't know if it's the devil and we're in the rapture. I don't know if it's white American culture has deluded them to nothing. I don't know if they're all drug addicts. I don't know if me being separated from society has caused them to act this way, but I'm telling the truth. These people have some serious social conditioning delusion that's caused them to be extremely aggressive for no reason. And they're taking it out on somebody. I'm hoping it's a long game where they're learning their lesson through me. Like I'm in like a Jesus position where the whole time they're gonna realize I was just trying to help people. I don't know, but it's happening. So I had to go in the woods. Eventually that place trespassed me. Like 2 months passed of me sitting in the woods, just gardening, meditating, hiding from these people, trying to do stuff. I eventually started a YouTube channel and I got a couple donations to help me with my phone service. I'm at 95 subscribers now, including my mother, who has schizophrenia. I don't have schizophrenia. I have a brain injury. Before that, I had a savant syndrome. Before they took it out of the DSM, I had a high IQ. Like I excelled in everything. I was lazy, but I excelled in everything. Then I got music industry, bunch of psychedelic use, came back home, got in a car accident that resulted in the death of an unborn child. So a lot of stuff messed me up. I chose to fix it. I went into public housing, and all the people there were like sex offenders and horrible mental health issues, not good role models, especially when you have trauma, especially trauma with feeling trapped. Like you tend to extend yourself into your environment to try to pick up the little subtleties of everyone around you, to conform, to feel safe when you feel powerless. So I did that, and I think that really messed me up because I was like empathizing with everybody in the building that had horrible mental health issues. Like some guy said he was a psychic and then tried to molest me when I was in like brain damage psychosis, where I would have a breakthrough back to cognitive functioning. And I was so overwhelmed at the fact that other people had empathy and souls, and I was trying to like commingle and interact. I was making music 24/7 in my studio at home, in there, so I was living in music. So to be able to live in music and really pick up songs and download the intricacies in yourself, it makes you really heightened awareness of other people, and I happen to be around horrible people. I fixed it by door dashing around the country, meeting my childhood heroes, begging neuroscientists, like going to their office and begging to help fix me, and they gave me medication in a hotel room. My childhood hero told me to kill myself, and then I went out and I talked to the girl that he was talking to at a bar. I was just so angry that I broke into functioning. So that all the, like, I've been through an amazing life, but been a horrible struggle. And I'm telling you that I'm outside a mail place I tried to apply and they wouldn't hire me. I could show you there's a 5 mile walk from here to the next town over. I'm on top of a mountain. There's 5 miles to the next mountain. I went everywhere, all the way down to there, and no place will hire me. They're swerving at me on the way. I don't want to go back to my hometown. My stuff is here. My car is here that's broken down. The transmission fluid's turning black. And I'm trying to sell it today, so I'm going to walk that 5 miles right now, as soon as I'm done with this, to get down to a place called Rumor Has It, which is a thrift store that they said the manager might be willing to talk with me about getting me a beater with a heater. And then he might have a number for somebody that might pay for these catalytic converters to get me $300. I'm asking for everyone that watches this, if they care, I'd like to drop my Cash App, my PayPal, and a GoFundMe. If people could. I'm saying I applied to every job and it didn't work, and it's getting worse. I thought the summer would make things better, but it's just making the people more active. It's not safe. I'm having people tell me every day it's not safe for me and I need to leave. I don't really have anywhere else to go. I don't want to just drop in and repeat the same cycle everywhere I go. There's a car right next to me for $1,500 that could get me back door dashing. I have so many albums. I just need to get into the studio. I know exactly what I want to make with them. Then I could go back on stage. My cousin really wants to do animation. He's like a quirky Section 8 virgin, autistic, very talented animator if he puts his mind to it, but he dropped out of high school. So he's kind of delusional. We just got him a job at the Dollar Tree, but my family are very mentally ill because of Section 8 isolation, delusion, sitting on their phone all day. They're not good people, and I'm an empath or whatever. It's not good to be around them. The city that I just came from, when I left, there was about 500 homeless people. Now there's about 1,500, and they're just doing heroin, attacking each other, and shitting right on the public sidewalk in the main place that used to be a tourist trap. There's no real place for me to go that isn't more dangerous than the situation I'm in right now. I have tons of dreams. Like, you can tell, this is just coming to me naturally. I could 100%, I'm making content that is helping people that were in positions further behind where I am now, and I'm helping bring them forward to my level of cognizance. Before this, I said I had Savant syndrome. I went from what would have been an autistic virgin forever with no social skills, to leading events and having beautiful girlfriends and having the respect of my role models. And I was living a life that was inspiring an entire small town to do better through me. And now it's like I dropped below the threshold and I'm being kicked as I'm rising up. So I'm trying to get an RV. I could get video camera, get a nice computer, get my studio set up, get my microphone, soundproof the back, drive around Vermont, picking up these artists that are talented but have nobody just like me, get them recorded, get them on content, start a YouTube channel for them, display the creative revolution that Vermont has, the different unique styles of the people in these small towns. I could have a gym set up in the woods. I could clear out space, I could travel around and talk to farmers around these small town areas and find a woodland place that I can clear out, and we can build like an off-grid community, like an intentional community. Eventually I could get $3,500 and get an Alibi, a Central Asian Shepherd, and start an Instagram page for him, because those are a rare dog. And then I could get him a wife, and then get an AKC registry, and then sell these Central Asian Shepherds through my uncle, who my family kind of they gave up on my father, but my family's very wealthy. They won't talk to me because of my father. I've tried. I stole a canoe and went to their island on Saranac Lake. My uncle married Joan Hardy, the actress, and my other uncle is an architect for the biggest family in the biggest city in Vermont. and they won't talk to me. The closest I got is that my uncle invited me to an obedience training school for dogs. Coincidentally, like, is it a simulation? I don't know, probably. But so I'm thinking about getting a dog, raising these dogs, and then I got an invite from my uncle to the best obedience school that he's a member of because they're white bread rich, and I'm not. I'm on the ground. Handsome, maybe. I'm the king in the north. I could be Robert Baratheon. Um, but there's so much I could do. I'm flooded with ideas, and I'm held captive by my inability to emotionally connect with people that I feel are trapped in the Matrix. I'm met with anger, hostility, and violence everywhere I go. It reduces me to this. Usually I'm cool. Usually I'm making jokes and having a good time, and I've got a good vibe, and I'm centered. But trauma has gotten me here, and yesterday I was told if I don't, like, somebody called me, and they're going to try to get me on disability, which feels like extreme defeat. It feels like I've been fighting for 10 years just to have it give it up and submit to the government again, sign my life away, when I know for a fact if one of these places had just hired me, I would have had 5,000 by now. I would have invested in crypto and gotten to 500,000. All these 10x's that happened on crypto, and I'm in the Discord groups. But I say, like, I tell them my situation. Hey, I killed somebody in self-defense. They brought him back to life. The town is so mad that they're threatening to kill me every day. I've had to escape into the woods. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to apply to jobs. I have nobody to call. And they say, well, are you a drug addict? And then they never respond. They, it's so unfathomable, my experience, that it's just not registering in their head. And when it does, like when I drop the victories that I've overcome, like look how far that I've gotten, I'm just met with hate. Like people trying to down me for what I've been through. I tell people I had to pick somebody up and throw him on the ground and kill him with a hatchet to make him stop. And people are like, get a life, pussy. I tell them, like, I was in a car fighting for my life every day, freezing, while people were overdosing around me and trying to kill me. And I was doing push-ups outside in the snow, trying to do what I can to better myself when I had nothing and nobody. I couldn't form the words to understand. I didn't know how to empathize and reason with people that have no idea what I've suffered. So I'm here, and this is my last ditch effort. I think you can tell by how I'm talking that asking for help is probably the last thing someone like me would do. I would get on the ground and do push-ups. I would escape into the woods and build myself a compound and YouTube everything and say, if you have a positive experience from my content, feel free to give me a cup of coffee. But it's not necessary because I just learned how to grow food from the ground. So that's where I'm at. I could tell you I've had insane spiritual experiences, like a higher power reveals itself to me. And I think hopefully you can see I'm competent enough that that's not a schizophrenic delusion. It's a real thing that happened to me. That's someone that is articulate as I am. For me to be able to say that I fully believe in a higher power, at least aliens or a more complex form of intelligence that had to be made. I couldn't tell you if it's flat, but I'm saying that like I believe it. So it must be I must be maybe I'm avoiding something. Maybe this is what I've been avoiding. Uh, I'm not happy with myself for this. I think I'd watch this video and I'd cringe forever because I don't like this part of me. This is just like sacrificing everything to just speak. There's no passion or intensity or I would say authenticity. Like usually I have like a creative style. I want to entertain and perform and do it in a way that teaches people. and I'm an artist. So for me to talk like this, it seems like I'm kind of tuning out a lot. But I need a car, maybe an MMA gym membership, money in the bank, fix my computer, get the studio set up, start content creating. Then I could get Starlink internet or Skyroam internet, which is like $50 a month. Then I can find a remote job. Then I can finish the studio, get an RV, get a free boat off Marketplace, and learn to sail and sail up the Connecticut River back to my hometown. There's so much I can do that I guess it is my fault that I didn't say fuck it and hitchhike or hop on a train. And I thought that I could stick it out and maybe I could make a difference in the community. But also, I was worried about my stuff getting stolen. Like my mementos from my childhood and my computer with my music on it and stuff like that. But either way, I'm here. So I doubt you guys watched a half hour of content. But I'm in a position I need help and I have nobody. So if you guys have a cup of coffee, or if you have $10, $15, or you know somebody that's wealthy that you might be able to give me a phone number for, and I could tell them about what my plans are, that's where I'm at. So thanks for watching. Be sure to give this a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.